Thank you for joining me for another Quick Hits conversation. I'm Dr. Robyn. With me today, I have Kevin Wash, Dr. Wayne Buckhanan, and Emma Humphrey. The question I want to ask, how do you have empathy without being manipulated? Emma, can you kick us off today?
So this might be a slightly naive perspective, but I just think that you've just got to trust your gut with this. Go with empathy as your default position. And if you sort of smell a bit of a rat, then you can obviously kind of curtail how much help you offer. But I don't think you should stop listening to somebody, even if you suspect you were manipulated.
Interesting. Guys?
Okay. For me, I think it's a great question. And I think the answer lies in the strength of the character of the individual, because from my understanding of empathy is having the ability to kind of walk in somebody else's shoes, to understand, but it's not to live in somebody else's shoes. So it's having the ability to say, okay, I can understand what your issues are. Maybe I can show you ways that you can change this situation, but I'm not going to do it for you, because then you are really becoming manipulated. I think the best way to explain it would be, there's a wonderful or an unclaimed proverb, and it says something along the lines of, if a man is hungry and you give him a fish, he'll be hungry again tomorrow. If you teach a hungry man how to fish, he'll never be hungry again. And I think that kind of sums it up for me.
Okay. Wayne?
Yeah, I definitely went a direction of, just because we've got the empathy circuits firing doesn't mean that our brain turns off. So it's often that we do step fully into, we're going emotionally, we're going to connect with this person on this level, and we stop listening to, as Emma says, those red flags that are flying, like, wait. It's like, no, this person's really hurting, and so I have to turn all the logic off. And I think that that's one of those pieces that can come into play, is making sure you've got both of those things going. Like, we're listening to the heart, but also the head.
And isn't it interesting that there's a dichotomy there, that your heart, and I love what you said, Kevin, about you can walk in someone's shoes without living in them. I think that's a really great point. And I do feel like it's very easy, at least for me, for someone to say things that turn on my empathy switches. And then I do go into savior mode and try to help them. And that's my stuff to own, that I go into savior mode. And I have to catch that, because I know I've been manipulated in my life, because I have such a strong feeling of empathy.
I think there's a huge difference also between empathy in a professional environment to empathy in a personal environment. So where personally you can be the most empathetic person on the planet, and you can go above and beyond the call to help people and to really do things for people depending on their circumstances. I think professionally you have to be very careful. And obviously a lot of the work I do involves training people. And when you're training people to do new things, they can be very uncomfortable, and they really want you to take their pain away and make them comfortable again. But that doesn't benefit them in the long run. So it's not necessarily tough love, but it's knowing when to say, no, you do it.
Just because I understand your situation doesn't mean I need to enable it.
Great line.
Yeah. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to save you. You have to still go through it. Yeah.
Is there an argument as well that at some point it becomes kinder to call somebody on their manipulative bullshit, because you're actually going to, help them by stopping them behaving so destructively?
You have to notice it though, too. So you have to, as an empathetic person, you have to notice that it's getting past the point. And I think all three of you know, I have a 3 times rule. You're allowed to come to me and complain about the same thing 3 times before I'm like, okay, you either need to fix it or get over it, because complaining isn't accomplishing anything. And I wonder sometimes if maybe 3 times is too many.
I was going to say, that's very generous of you. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not the most empathetic person on the planet, but I work on a 1 time. My deal with people is, everybody's entitled to make a mistake, but you can't make the same one again. Everyone's entitled to ask for help, but you can't ask for help on the same subject again. So I give them 1 shot. You're very generous.
Wayne, I see you grinning. I know that means the wheels are turning.
They're always turning. Yeah, it's funny, because I was cutting this difference. I was like, a couple of times sounds about right. Even before hearing, now we're at 1. Okay, cool. But it's very much a matter of recognizing whether maintaining that productive tension in them and keeping the energy high is helpful or hindering. Is it too high or is it too low? And being able to manage that, and recognizing, as you say, Robyn, our own circuits firing of, oh, look, I want to do these things because for my own reasons. So are we really being manipulated possibly by our own selves as well as the other person setting things up so that, oh, we know that they're going to respond in this way, so let's go ask them.
Yeah. Wayne, you haven't talked about productive tension in a long time here on Quick Hits. Can you give us a quick definition of what productive tension is and why it's amazing?
Productive tension is the amount of activity, mental, physical, emotional, going on in a person at any given moment. And we've got 5 different levels that we can spec out. And typically there's a level that maps to getting the task done. And so if we're going to back off, if we've got all sorts of productive tension, really high tension, we end up in stress and we're just like, I know I need something to change. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Which is not super helpful. The other end is we've got no real energy around it. We're down in apathy and it's like, change? Why would I need to change? And we've got the full range in between where most likely, if we're just looking at that scale, is just below that stress. So power stress. Like, I know what I need to do. I'm going to go do it. Kind of stay out of my way.
Nice.
There's a fine line here because, there are people that deserve empathy, but there are some people who are very clever at manipulating situations to their own advantage. And sometimes a person of lesser strength might think, I need to get that person on board. I need that person to give me a good review. I need that person to like what I'm doing. So I'll help that person. But really all you're doing is being completely manipulated by that person. And some of them, they're so clever at it, they're very sneaky. So I think the key is finding that person and deciding, is this somebody that really needs empathy or is this a manipulator?
Emma, would love to hear from you for a second.
Yeah, I'm still kind of processing this. How many times do you give people? But I think for me, it's about like, just, you can have all of my empathy, all of my time, as long as you seem to be trying to help yourself. If you're the kind of person who you're trying to manipulate me into fixing your problem, you're trying to manipulate the people around you, you're just basically kind of enjoying the drama, at that point, I've got no time for you and I'm pretty much going to walk away.
And I think we've done quick hits before about how do you notice when you're being manipulated. And I think when they're manipulating you by using your empathy, it's the hardest, at least for me, to notice until after the fact. I'm like, drat, I missed it again.
People who are very skillful at it, and you actually start to recognize patterns in them after a while, they generally don't do very much because they get everybody else to do it for them. And they're always very comfortable because they never get taken out of their comfort zone. Because if they do, they start to cry. And some nice empathetic people like you, Robyn, or like you, Emma, come along and save things for them. Whereas some horrible beast like me comes along and kind of doesn't.
And it's funny because if it's clients, I'm much better at being like, okay, this is not how we're going to do this. This is not what you're paying me to help you do. But friends, oh my goodness, it's harder for me.
Going too far the other direction. And saying, oh, I'm going to turn off my empathy. I'm not allowing that. And I think that's painful and dangerous to us and the relationships we care about, and doesn't actually do anything to hinder the people who would manipulate that. They'll just find someone else who they can manipulate in that way.
I think I'm more likely to err on the side of being too empathetic and risk being manipulated than the other side, for me personally.
I think that's a great point you make there, Wayne. I think you're right. I think if you go too far the other way, you just become a cold, emotionless person that people won't come to you with anything. And I don't think there's anything to be gained by being in that situation. You can be the kindest person on the planet, but you still don't need to be manipulated, because there's a time when you just need to say, okay, enough's enough. I can't do this for you. If I continue doing this for you, this situation will never change. So you need to step outside of your comfort zone for 5 minutes. I'll be there to catch you if you fall, but the chances are you won't fall. So go. Maybe a bit of a stronger terminology sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong to ask for evidence that they've tried to help themselves. I don't think that shows a lack of empathy in any way, shape or form. It's more, you're kind of invested in them succeeding because you want them to take action rather than just, can you just sort of lag on a load more sympathy, please?
Yeah. And the difference between empathy and sympathy, there's a Brene Brown video out there that's been animated that's really good about the difference between the two of those things and how you use them. And it doesn't even talk about manipulation that comes with having too much empathy, which I think is a big part of being sensitive. to other people's emotions. So that is our 10 minutes. I'm going to cut us off there. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. And I look forward to speaking to each of you again really soon.
Thank you.